first time actually running to work. It's amazing. Beautiful view over the entire city. It's really, really rewarding. And it definitely helps to balance out my music producer lifestyle, because the rest of the day, just sitting in front of a computer, making music.
Think I'm gonna dive tonight, right into the deep end. Why you always close your eyes? Ain't no time for sleeping. Sun comes up and you go.
Oops. There's even more. And that's the last one. You see, I ordered racks, 4 of them. The first one I unboxed is already broken. You see these, the rails they build in to rack it to, they just glue them. It's just glued. You see, I could rip this one off. It's just glued. That's so annoying. Now I have to put them back in the box, ship them back again, wait for my money again. I hate when these things happen. But maybe also my mistake ordering the cheapest ones. Very frustrating. Those were the last things missing to actually build the entire table. I wanted to now just head to the DIY store, get a plate, cut holes into it, put the racks in there. Basically being almost done. But yeah, really, that's a problem if you buy cheap. So I don't want this new studio to be cheap. I want it to be, first of all, the last studio I will ever build. I will never ever build a studio again. That's the last one. And I will make it perfect. Perfect to a degree where I myself think it's perfect and everyone else will also say it's perfect. And perfect, unfortunately, is expensive. So yeah, sending those back, getting real ones that are not glued. I mean, who does that? Like, just falls apart being shipped here. But anyways, back to planning the studio. Like, this is my drawing number 6. It's messy. And today it's all about like changing this from 2D into a 3D model and show it to you so you can imagine already kind of what the studio might be able to look like. And there's like a special thing, like I'm building it in a very, very special way that takes a lot more planning, but we'll also make sure the studio will last a lot longer. So stay tuned. I got completely lost. I'm screwed. Vanessa just arrived. Is it already 6?
It's past, and I called you like many times.
I don't know where my phone is. I got so lost in designing the new studio. It's getting out of hand, I think.
Sure it is.
Yeah, it's already, I mean, you know,
You're
some
always
of the
like
plans.
that.
But I already said I will make this the perfect studio, and it's the last one that I built. I promise.
Don't believe that.
I promise. That's the last one. Yeah, on
Pinky
camera.
promise?
Okay. The last studio that I built. It's many hours later. I planned the entire studio, each and every little detail. It's not just finished in my head, it's also finished in the planning, the measurements, everything is perfect, everything looks right. And now's the time to present all of that madness to you. Let's maybe start with the small thing, the desk. I have like a plan. It shows it from the side. It will have like the feet on top of the plate, and in the plate the racks. The other part shows it from the top. Those 4 sections will be those racks. So you have a little bit of space like for a mouse, your hands, and the rest is just racks to have all of these knobs reachable. I even found online by other people desks that are similar. Like there's one where it was built in a similar way for racks, but I'll just make this entire area like on one level. Because in that picture it has like, it's like straight down there, then up even more and up even more. I want it to be like one surface, like one huge big control panel. And then there's another one I found like to inspire me even more. It's just 2. So basically what you see there twice, and the bottom part again will just continue from the racks and without the LEDs. I won't build any LEDs into the desk. The next picture is actually the floor plan of the new studio. it will be all built by the same block size. You see all of these blocks that go around, they have the same size. So I built the same thing 33 times, which will save me a lot of time. It's just like making it, building it, like wood around, absorbing material in, fabric around, and it's ready. I think that's the fastest way, plus the studio will be fully modular. I can take any of these segments out. I can move the entire studio in one big car with maybe 4 persons within a day and just go somewhere else if I need to. So everything I'm building right now might be more expensive, better quality, but I will be able to reuse it, every single piece. Like nothing is permanent, nothing needs to be destroyed. Everything is modular, better for the environment. At the end, over the years, also better for my pockets. And I just keep the same room no matter where I go. So I have the same room acoustics, more or less. The back wall will have the entrance door. I can't move that. It will stay as it is. And then you enter and have at the very back, probably a couch, something to chill, or the DJ desk. Not sure about that yet. Then another center desk that will be just empty. So I have like space to unbox stuff, to work on something, write something, maybe plug in a synthesizer every once in a while, test some equipment. And then in the front, in the sweet spot, the main desk. Then built into the wall in the front, the 2 main speakers. I'm still not sure how to actually pull that off. I have to call the guys that make these speakers because every speaker has specific needs. And I will check with them, the ones that made the speaker, how exactly to build them into the wall. Because online you will find everything. People just surrounding it with absorbing material, people building it into concrete, into bricks, and like there are a lot of opinions. And I think at the end it's just about like trying it out and make it work. That's actually probably the first part I will build. So I can still move the speakers and test which position is actually the best. And since I'm always just using these blocks, if I might ever move the studio, I can, for example, remove 2 blocks from the sides and put them into the front and back end, and this way change the shape of the studio a little. And also the door, for example, it will be made out of 2 of these blocks, the only part that will be different. And I could even move the door and place it anywhere else. So it's a fully modular, forever studio. This will be really the last that I will ever build. Then the next part next to it is actually the ceiling. The ceiling will be the sickest thing on this planet. I hope I will build it as I imagine it right now, because usually when you start building something, you kind of go different directions, but as I've planned it, it's just amazing. It's inspired by that Dark Knight Batman movie. There's this one scene where they're underground and like checking the cars, and like the entire ceiling is one huge LED. This will help me a lot filming, because having like light from above the entire ceiling, it just looks very, very epic. That's what you use to shoot cars. It will look good for the video. I don't have to fiddle around with lights and reposition them, which costs me a lot of time and is really annoying. And they're standing in the way and they might tip over. So building this entire ceiling with LEDs will be quite expensive, but still way less expensive to actually buy proper video lights that are good quality. Plus, I will probably also make them RGB, or RGB and white, and be able to control each and every one of these tiles. I'm not sure how many tiles I will actually make, but that's something I will figure out. And I think that's pretty much it. That's the plan. Pretty simple. The modular thing was really important to me. And the floor is actually the sickest part. Probably also the most expensive. Let me see if I can pull a picture. It will be all black, like a mirror, and it will mirror the ceiling, the LEDs. I think that's pretty cool. It will be an extremely clean room, and there's like one more thing that will go into that studio. It is actually built right in the front wall, those 2 blocks at the very top. Those will probably have to be another like secret door, something you won't see, because behind it is like a fire escape thing, so it has to be accessible. I also need to be able to go behind the speakers if I need to adjust anything or route new cables. But this space is also big enough to build actually like a small vocal booth. Or I was thinking, like, since those are also the two main windows with a nice view that I love, to just make it like a room that is in full contrast. Like the studio, very clean, no cables nowhere. That's the main goal, no cables, and the best acoustic possible. And then behind that, that second room will be the opposite, like very cozy and like warm tones and very friendly and bright sunlight and everything. I wish there would be like a method to keep the view, because I really love it. And so far the A studio for me, I always neglected doing things because I was like, no, I love the view. But at the end, I'm not using that studio because it doesn't sound good enough. I can't mix in there, I can't produce in there. So I have a room just for the view, and that's a little waste. And this is kind of a compromise, having a room dedicated to music production, dedicated to listening to everything, having a great workflow, and then behind it a room that gives me the joy of the view, some sunlight. And yeah, I think this way I can get away with it. I will now send all of this to my acoustic guy, because having the acoustics right is priority number one. Also, while building it, every single step I will measure it, and if the measurements say something, I will follow it 100%. I want this to be the most acoustically accurate room in at least Germany. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video about my plans for the studio. I hope I will follow through, because in my head it just looks amazing. Now I just have to do it, and I will start with it immediately. I mean, first some sleep and then, but tomorrow.